It sucks nuts. Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. And this one is very interesting. This is I already forgot what it was. The 7th episode of MLP, Parental Glideance. Now I am spoiled. I already know that this episode features, actually introduces Rainbow Dash's parents. I already know that much. Believe it or not, I wasn't spoiled with by any imagery. I was spoiled because while watching a couple of the clips from other episodes, there was a link over on the side from this episode, and at first I thought, is that an animation? Like a fan-made animation. And I clicked onto it, and I watched like a couple of seconds, and I thought, wow, this is a fan-made animation, this is realistic. And it turns out it was a clip from the episode, and I quickly found that out after a couple of seconds of watching, and so I know that Rainbow's parents is in this episode, but that's all that I know. So without further ado, let's begin with the episode, shall we? Let me full screen this. Starting video on 3, 2, 1, click. Oh my gosh!
You wanna come? But we talked about this. Non-Pegasus ponies fall through the clouds.
What?
Right, but...
What?
We're good.
This isn't...
We are?
No, we're not.
Scootaloo,
No, we're not.
I know you have to go to Cloudsdale to finish your report. I'm just wondering if this is the best way to get there. It'll be fine. Besides, how else could I get there? A Pegasus chariot? A flock of birds? A hot air balloon?
A spell from Twilight? Something that won't involve death!
Nailed it.
Whoa!
The little ma'am, are you all right?
That...
Yes. Bo Hothoof at your service.
That just... Okay. Her reaction probably is every other fan, is the equivalent of every other fan right now to finally see Rainbow Dash's father.
Honey, something's going on out here.
Oh, she's cute. She's cute. Oh my gosh.
Oh, heavens to Celestia! What's wrong with her?
I don't know, but
She's cute.
you
I like
just
the
made it
freckles.
worse.
Sorry, it's just your Rainbow Dash's parents!
Yep.
She's doing it again.
Oh, dear, please! You might shatter my Princess Celestia commemorative plates! Ow!
Oh wow. She just did.
I'm so sorry. I can't believe I'm meeting you. My name's Scootaloo, and I'm doing the school report on your daughter.
Our Rainbow Dash?
The report's on an inspirational pony.
That's
And no
adorable.
pony inspires me more than she does. I'm putting together this scrapbook for my report. I'm her biggest fan.
Little Trotter, what you say is impossible. Because no pony is a bigger fan of our Rainbow Dash than us!
Oh my.
Whoa. You always wear that shirt?
Actually, it's laundry day. But pretty great, right?
Yeah! My name's Windy Whistles, and I just have to say...
Again, she's adorable. I love her.
It's a total blast to meet some pony that loves Rainbow Dash as much as we do.
What can we help you with?
Well, I know all about Rainbow Dash's time in Ponyville, but I don't know anything about her life before that.
Well,
Neither does anybody
to
else.
the right
Thank you for
place.
voicing every single word that every other fan has had Since season 1. Thank
Here
you.
you go. Rainbow Dash's favorite meal. A pasta and potato sandwich on sourdough. She just loved a carbo load.
I can't believe I'm eating Rainbow Dash's favorite food, made by Rainbow Dash's mom, while sitting in Rainbow Dash's
Okay.
kitchen.
I know that the fans...
Day of my life!
I know this destroys some fans' headcanons that Firefly from Generation 1,
Time for a tour
or
of the
sorry,
house.
Generation 3 is not Rainbow's mother.
Our little Dashie was an early learner, and so rambunctious. The combination.
Yeah, we kind of
was-
saw that.
Wow.
I can also see where Rainbow gets her enthusiasm from. Her mother is pretty enthusiastic as well. I can see where she gets it from.
Rainbow Dash's linen closet. Her carpet. Her inspirational poster. When the going gets tough, the tough don't notice because they have hard shells. That's so Rainbow Dash.
Scootaloo, want to see something really cool?
Do I want to know what this is? Oh my gosh!
I installed the sound effects myself. Great, huh?
Wow!
So great.
Wow!
Look at this.
She was wearing it when she spoke her first words.
So cool.
To be honest,
And this broken lantern is from when she first learned to fly.
to be honest,
And
like,
this bitten apple's from when she grew her first tooth. So many memories.
okay,
You're so
wing
lucky to
feathers,
have all of
or wing
these.
hands, or,
Well,
sorry, wing hands,
I may
or,
have a ton of Dash Mentos,
we're seeing a lot more of
but
that
I don't have
currently.
any of those Rainbow Dash saves Ponyville headlines like you.
Tradesies?
Dealsies.
Again,
So, where's all
this
the
is
Wonderbolt
adorable.
Stuff?
You mean Rainbow Dash's personal collection of Wonderbolt memorabilia?
No,
yeah.
I mean, where's all the stuff about Rainbow Dash getting accepted into the Wonderbolt Academy and then getting chosen as a Wonderbolt?
Huh?
Wait, you don't know that your daughter's a Wonderbolt? And I got to tell you?
Oh.
Oh, wow! You should see your faces right now! See, that's what your faces look like.
Okay,
Daughter's a Wonderbolt?
oh, that was cute.
Great timing.
Great door.
It's
Okay, I freaking love this episode. I do.
unbelievable.
You two were kind enough to show me the Rainbow
And honestly, I love these
Dash
two characters.
Now,
I do.
please, allow me to
I do.
show
I
you
love the
Rainbow
dynamics
Dash
between-
I know.
I'm really looking forward to seeing fan art of these characters here. Oh my gosh.
Let's make some thunder! I was born to make thunder! We've got turbulence! Help! Where's it coming from? Digger!
Oh my.
Oh no.
Oh nuts.
Okay, which pony broke protocol and invited guests to our training exercise?
That'd be Scootaloo.
I guess they're with me. Ugh.
Oh shoot.
Dad! So
Oh boy.
good to see you.
Oh, honey, it's so great to see you too. And wow, you were so amazing up there with all of that flying.
How did you know I was here?
Scootaloo filled us in on everything.
Rainbow
You
could cute
modest
image of
pony,
Rainbow.
you.
I can't believe
You-
I'm documenting the moment you're
Oh, so this is how Rainbow Factory got started. Yeah, you're
And
kind of
these
dead.
must be your Wonderbolt friends.
Yeah, you're kind of dead.
Hello, team. I'm Windy Whistles, the mom of the best Wonderbolt ever. Yeah. Just kidding. You guys were great too. Go team!
Mom!
Hello, ma'am. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you as well. And love those goggles. Love them. You know, I have goggles too, but they're mostly just for swimming. Oh, and bath time.
Please. They don't want to hear about your bath time.
I can't believe it. My daughter, a Wonderbolt. So proud.
Dad, hold it together. We're in public.
I know. But it's just, you had a goal and you achieved it.
Again, the feeling of the fandom in general. That's cute.
Alright,
Oh.
let's hit the showers and give Rainbow Dash some time to spend with her family. Okay, yeah. Great practice. I'll catch up with you guys in a minute. Sir, you really raised a great flyer.
Oh no.
There goes the
Tears
world.
welling up again.
Okay. Oh boy.
Could you give us a sec?
Oh boy.
Is something wrong? Yeah. You should have warned me that you were bringing my parents, or talked to Twilight or something, not just shown up. Why? It's just my parents and I have a delicate relationship. I love them very much, and we're really close, but there's a reason I didn't tell them I'm a Wonderbolt. It can be a little bit embarrassing. Huh? Really?
Oh,
Really?
I love where this is going.
A whole lot of crazy into my life. What's wrong with a little support?
I love this already. Like, oh, no joke. I love this episode.
Fall and windy?
And I'm actually really glad that they did this. It would have been a lot more hurtful.
Greetings, small ponies.
Are you excited to see Rainbow
It would have been a lot more hurtful
Oh
if
my,
that
yes.
Rainbow had like
Thing
a very
we
bad
never
relationship with her
bothered to
parents.
come to a Wonderbolt event.
We said if Rainbow Dash isn't a Wonderbolt, then what's the point? But now she is.
And she earned it. Did you know it all started when she won a spot in the coveted
Let
Wonderbolt Academy,
wow.
training under Spitfire?
I didn't know.
Let me guess.
How wonderful.
You also don't know about her
She
defeating
had some
T-Rack
heavy
and
competition,
befriending
especially against
Discord.
another Pegasus named Lightning Dust.
Come back!
But of course,
Speaking of, where is
Rainbow
she?
Dash proved to be the best, and later made it into the Wonderbolt reserves.
Hooray again.
But jealous ex-Wonderbolt, Wind Rider, was worried that Rainbow Dash
Oh.
might break his speed record, and so he framed her for a crime she didn't commit.
And he
Oh,
was never seen
no.
again after this particular
Thanks to
episode.
Rarity, Rainbow Dash proved her innocence and became a backup Wonderbolt. Until Fire Streak retired, and she became an official Wonderbolt.
Hooray.
Uh,
Wow. What a
Fire
great
Streak
tale.
You really
I don't
know
remember
Rainbow
that being
Dash
detailed in an
You're going
episode.
to do great on
That
your
must have
road.
happened off screen.
Show's about to start.
Okay.
Come on, Bolts! Let's start this thing!
Did Rainbow's mother,
Great showcase. Here we go.
did she get Hot Diggity Demon to make that? Because I know he made, or someone made the Derpy toaster cover.
Back up again and tear it back down again. Yeah.
Go, go, go!
What did they get that?
Go, Rainbow Dash!
Oh,
Best Wonderbolt ever!
Woohoo! That's my daughter. Go Rainbow. Go Dashy. Go 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 go.
wow, that's cool. Okay, no joke. Redbubble and We Love Fun.
Your folks were definitely loud, but they weren't that bad.
Was that a flare?
Since when did we add fireworks to the show?
We didn't.
We didn't.
What? the- What did they get that from Pinkie Pie? Okay, that's cool.
Wow.
Oh, I see where this is going. Like, very easily.
Go, Rainbow Dash!
I was gonna say that one image.
You silent Pluto! Woo! Cut the ribbon, cut the ribbon, cut the ribbon, cut the ribbon!
Oh boy. Sorry.
The camera loves you, yeah! Now let's do the pyramid.
What?
Scootaloo, get up.
Oh gosh.
You're the top.
You really do got yourself your very own mega fans. Lucky you.
Yeah, it's Vapor Trail! Hi! And, that... This really was the image that I saw that I wasn't sure about.
Yeah!
Greatest towel hanger of all time! Towel! 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 Towel!
She's gonna snap. She snapped.
This is ridiculous! Mom and Dad, you are both too supportive! This is exactly why I didn't tell you I was a Wonderbolt! You're just too much!
Did we do something wrong?
Yes! The fireworks, the cheerleading, and how do you even compare who is better or worse at hanging up a towel?
We're just trying to be supportive.
Well, I'm tired of it! I've had enough of you two being so proud of every little ridiculous, insignificant thing I do! I think you should leave.
First of all, great job yelling at us, sweetie. No one can make their parents feel more worthless than you.
Oh gosh.
Your words were direct,
Oh my
clear,
gosh.
and so painful. Is there nothing you can't do?
Why? Scootaloo, you don't understand. I met your parents hoping to learn more about you, but I don't like what I found out. I'll find some pony else to do my hero report on.
Jeez, dang her. Oh gosh.
Scootaloo, wait! I know I wasn't myself back there, and I shouldn't have snapped at my parents. That's exactly why I didn't tell them I'm a Wonderbolt. I don't understand. They're so proud of you.
Can I tell you something?
Sure.
Okay, but you might want to hold on to your wings because this could rock you to your very core. Believe it or not, there was a time when I wasn't the best at everything. See this picture? It looks like I want something awesome, but actually...
And last but not least, it's time to hand out our participant stickers.
Spitfire! Lightning Dust!
Your parents realize you didn't win, don't they?
Glitter and Cloud Chaser.
Granted, I was the youngest pony in the senior competitive circuit. Most other ponies my age were still in the junior flappers club. I thought it was utterly mortifying having my parents cheer me on even when I lost. But then, when I started to win competitions, which didn't take very long,
Derpy.
by the way, things got even worse.
Lightning Dust.
Being the best came with consequences. Very loud, very embarrassing consequences.
You know, some ponies would dream of having parents like that. Yeah, right. Name one. Me. Growing up, I never thought I'd be the best at anything because no pony ever told me. But your parents told you over and over again. Look,
Gosh.
best bath taker ever. Best carrot eater under 3. Greatest napper of all time.
Yeah, I am pretty good at napping. I can fall asleep anywhere.
Yeah. For your entire life, your parents gave you the confidence to believe in yourself.
You're right. I was always so embarrassed by my parents that I didn't realize their support actually made me the awesome, confident, amazing, awesome, and awesome pony I am. And I took them for granted.
And you yelled at them.
I
I gotta make this right. I have an idea, but I'm gonna need your help. That is, if you're willing to help me after I acted like that. Now that's a great picture. Rainbow Dash learns the error of her ways.
I'm telling you, I just can't see a thing. Scootaloo, you were just so great at blindfolds.
It's true. You must tell me what kind of knot you used. Falconer's knot? Wait, no! A farmer's loop.
What's this all about, anywho?
Windy whistles and bow hot hoof. Please be seated for a super private Wonderbolt event. Mom and Dad, welcome to the... I love my parents and I'm sorry that I took them for granted and I know that they made me who I am today, so I really want to make it up to them. Event. Enjoy. Thanks for doing this. Happy to help. Mom and Dad, I want you to know that I'm your biggest fan.
Oh, honey, thank you. But you didn't have to do all this.
It's kind of embarrassing.
It is a bit much.
And that's why Rainbow Dash is the most inspirational pony in my life.
Thank you, Scootaloo. Very well researched. But a little heavy on the pictures, and there was a moldy sandwich in your report. I'll give you a B.
Yeah! Greatest report of all time!
Oh my gosh.
Scootaloo! Scootaloo! Scootaloo!
He's one of the family.
Okay, this isn't a rock and roll concert.
Okay. This honestly is one of my favorite episodes of this season, and also this is also no doubt one of my favorite episodes of the entire series. And yeah, I can see, yeah, this is a really good episode. And like I said, I was afraid in the beginning that that what they might try to do was that Rainbow had a bit of a rocky relationship with her parents, and that she maybe hadn't talked to them in a long time over, that maybe there was some sort of argument or disagreement or something. They just didn't see eye to eye, and that it was going to be an episode where maybe Scootaloo tried to help Rainbow, try to find some common ground. I'm really glad that they didn't do that, and that it was already established that Rainbow did have a good relationship, with her parents. And honestly, now, like I said, I know that some people's headcanons are going to be completely and utterly destroyed and go down in a complete blaze of flames and smoke because Rainbow's dad isn't the same guy that we saw before. He isn't the same guy he isn't exactly the same guy we saw in some of the earlier images, but you could probably say, well, that was a Rainbow whenever she was younger, so, a different design, the guy aged. You could probably say that. He aged a little bit, so you could say that. But, and that, also that Rainbow's mother isn't Firefly from, was it Generation 3? And I know that's what a lot of people imagined, was that Firefly was Rainbow's mother. But, yeah, it would have been cool if they had made that connection. But I can understand that they did. I can understand that they didn't go with that because while they have had some fan service in the show, that might have been a bit too much fan service. Like, no joke, that would have definitely been a solid connection between this and Generation 3. And this is, I think, supposed to be an like a totally different universe, a totally different world than that. I think this is supposed to be a completely different universe. It's not like connected to the original, obviously, because hey, in Generation 2, what was it? My Little Pony Tales, they had cars and electronics and things like that in there. Like actual vehicles that look like actual cars and such. Here they don't have that. They have very similar technology and such. We've seen it. I mean, like lasers, soundboards, subwoofers, stage lights, microphones, actual electricity lights that you can clap and such and turn on. So yeah, we have seen that. But again, it's I'm honestly glad that they didn't kind of do that. I mean, yeah, it would have been really cool. I won't deny. But yeah, honestly, I love the design for Rainbow's mother and father here. I really do. And I especially love her mother. Like her mother is just plain adorable. And those little freckles that she has is also cute. But anyway, this was a really good, solid episode, and it was understandable. There was actually a few different things going on here all at one time. First off, you had Scootaloo, who was pretty much the incarnation of the fandom itself in this. Upon seeing Rainbow's father just squealing like a fangirl. That, I know, is many people's reactions to finally seeing Rainbow's father in this. And her mother. So yeah, Scootaloo was pretty much voicing the actual opinions and thoughts of the fandom in this episode. So, like I said, she's basically the incarnation of the fandom in this. With everything that you see here, her being able to meet Rainbow's parents and find out they exist, and everything. So yeah, you get to see that. And so yeah, she's pretty much that. But she's also the third party that gets to witness everything between Rainbow and her parents, and we get a more in-depth inside look at Rainbow's life here, and we get to see more of how she grew up, of the things from whenever she was younger. And again, I love the exaggerated expressions for Scootaloo in this episode. Like, it just really goes out of its way to show and then the okay, I'll detail more on that later. But again, this was a really interesting episode because Rainbow and her parents, I mean, Rainbow said she loved her parents very much, but she felt that they were kind of embarrassing. And yeah, they kind of were. And like I said, there's two different sides to this, and both sides are understandable. On one hand, you had Rainbow. From Rainbow's perspective, her parents are overbearing. They are extremely supportive of everything that Rainbow does, but they are embarrassing. You know, like they're the type of, they are the type of parents that kind of will brag about you and your achievements to other ponies, to other people, and they're just like overly excitable about you and what you do. And it's embarrassing whenever they just constantly keep yep, and you kind of like just calm down, just tone it down a bit. So yeah, it's understandable from Rainbow's perspective on that. They are the overbearing parents. Yet at the same time, you can also understand it. Like, to me, I do not look at Rainbow's parents as villains here. Like, I mean, or as bad parents. They're great parents. They truly are. Because they raised their daughter the way that she is. And look at Rainbow. She is the essence of loyalty. And she got that from her parents. I mean, they taught her what she knows. They brought her up. They raised her. And so, she's not a bad girl. I mean, she's not doing anything wrong. That's all thanks to how her parents brought her up. And so, yeah, they really are great parents. They're sweet, they're friendly, and they are supportive of what her daughter does. They are supportive of what their daughter does. And they're happy for her. They're not, like, judgmental, trying to say, well, you should be a doctor or something like that. No, I mean, they're supportive of her decisions. And so, but you can also understand, like, excuse me, some of the other characters, you can see, Rainbow is the only character that is an only child. with Fluttershy, it's her and her brother, Rarity, her and Sweetie Belle, Applejack, Big Mac, and Apple Bloom, and Pinkie Pie, Maud, Marble. And so every single character has other siblings, but Rainbow, she is an only child. And so this is the only child that they have. This is their only daughter. And so, and honestly, again, where they have all the different things that from Rainbow growing up that she had, it's understandable. It's understandable from that perspective as well. Like, to be honest, I can more relate to Rainbow Dash in this, honestly, because I know my own mother has kept things from like my first haircut, some of the baby clothes that I wore whenever I was younger, even like some of the first clothes that I ever wore. She kept them, and so honestly, I can kind of relate to Rainbow here. On that note, I can honestly kind of relate to her. Um, and like Rainbow, I love my parents dearly. I do, and I would do whatever I could for them. But yeah, but it is understandable. And like I said, Rainbow's parents are not portrayed to be bad parents or the parents that are, that you might read about in the news or something. They're not that way. They made a mistake, in a way, by being so overly overly excited about their daughter, yet at the same time it's understandable, again, because that is their only child. That is their only child, and it's really I love, honestly, how well the relationship between them are. Like, there's no love lost. They love their daughter dearly. They are extremely supportive of her, and they're happy for her. And again, it's understandable from Rainbow's perspective. Like she said, she has a delicate relationship with her parents. She loves her parents, but they can be embarrassing. And again, I know other people, I myself included, can relate to that whenever a parent or a family member is like interacting with other people about the things that you have done and kind of bragging about it and things like that. And yeah, it can be embarrassing at times. And so yeah, this is relatable from Rainbow's perspective for many people. But again, it was interesting to be able to see that, and I really loved, again, how that dynamic between her and her parents played out. And I'm also glad that the rest of the Wonderbolts didn't ridicule or make fun of her or laugh at her or scoff because of her parents. Like, they understood, they were okay with it, and they were willing to help her out later on. And it's really good that it shows that development. It shows that things have progressed very far between Rainbow and the rest of the Wonderbolts, so that they're definitely more like friends and not just teammates. And so I'm really happy that they did that, and it really shows that development between them. And I'm really glad that they did it that way. It works. It really works. And then whenever Rainbow gets upset and yeah, again, it's also understandable why Rainbow got upset, because they were being supportive of a lot of things that Rainbow done, and like Rainbow said, small insignificant things. And so yeah, honestly, I don't feel that Rainbow was out of character in this, nor do I feel that Rainbow was a villain here. I can look at this and I can understand both characters' perspectives, her parents' perspectives and Rainbow's perspective. She was afraid to tell her parents about her accomplishment because she was afraid of being embarrassed. And it's understandable, because in reality there are situations whenever you can be afraid to explain something to your parents or have your parents go with you somewhere because you are afraid that you will be embarrassed by them. It's a common thing for children and parents that sometimes you will be embarrassed by them. I know many of us have been that way before. I have myself, and so again, I can completely understand Rainbow's perspective here. But it's also understandable, and so again, like, and yeah, she got upset. But this is probably because, but again, uh, that was all that just building up, like just building up, and it was something that ended up, that it's understandable why that Rainbow didn't want to tell her parents. It was because she knew something like this would happen. Like if she was exposed to that embarrassment for a little while, this would happen. And it's understandable, like that she harbored that fear that she didn't want to get upset at her parents, and she knew if she was exposed to that embarrassment, she would. And she loved her parents, and she didn't want to get upset at them, and so that's why she tried to limit her connection with them in terms of telling them about what she had been doing, what she had done, because she knew she'd get upset, and she didn't want to hurt her parents. And so again, I can understand that, and I can respect Rainbow's decision on that. But again, I can also understand her parents' perspectives. Like, again, this is their only daughter. And again, they didn't want Rainbow, again, they didn't want her to feel like a failure. Like, even if she failed at something, they didn't want her to feel that she was a failure. Like, they wanted her to know that they still supported her and loved her regardless, and that it didn't make a difference to them about that. So, yeah, it's very much understandable from that perspective as well. Then at the end, like, I think at the end they realized what what they had done, that they'd been a little overexcitable about things. And because even at the end they told her with the whole show and everything that it was a little embarrassing, that it was a little much. And so I think it might have been one of those situations where both characters they both had made a mistake. Like, they still loved their daughter, they still supported her, but they realized they had been embarrassing her. They had been sort of closing her in, they confining her in terms of the support. They had been supportive, but a little overly supportive, even like Rainbow said, over the most insignificant things. And they had been sort of restricting her, and it was becoming a little hard. It was kind of making it a little hard to breathe. And they realized that they could still they could still support her and everything. They just need to kind of take a little bit of a step back. And so I think they realized that, and Rainbow realized it was a mistake that she made. She had been taking her parents for granted. Like, it was like it was a mistake, and she had been just seeing things from her perspective, which was they were embarrassing, and she didn't realize that they were supporting her because they loved her. They wanted her to know that she wasn't a failure, that she could do anything that she set her mind to, and that they would always be there for her regardless, and that regardless of whatever happened, they were still there. Rainbow finally realized that, and instead of looking at it just from her perspective, she was able to see things from their perspective as well, and realized that she had took that for granted, and she was able to realize that she also made a mistake. And so this episode again is a really wonderful, solid episode, and that it's got a really great story, but it also shows both characters' flaws here. Like Rainbow wasn't perfect. She had her flaws here, which was her being embarrassed by her parents. Her parents had their flaws too, because they weren't perfect. They had the flaws too because they were a little overbearing. And again, it was a situation where they both had to see things kind of from both perspectives. And whenever they got to see that from both perspectives, they got to understand that about each other. They were able to find some common ground, some middle ground, and come to that understanding. And it did not hurt their relationship. Like, it didn't hurt their relationship at all. And if anything, it strengthened it. And again, I really love this episode. I really, really do. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes of the whole series. This is a sweet, wonderful episode. It's heartwarming, it's charming, it's cute, and it's just really well done. And another thing that is also going on here is this episode more solidifies, pretty much with the knife through the heart, the concept of Scootaloo being an orphan. And again, it was a situation where, again, Rainbow had been taken that for granted, and she had to be showed the error of her ways in order for her to make things right. And again, Rainbow is not a villain in this. I mean, it's an understandable situation. It's something that a lot of us have done. You've taken something for granted, and you had to understand it and realize it from outside of your own initial perspective to understand that you've been making a mistake. And then it gives you the second chance to be able to make things right. And Rainbow was able to see that here. And like I said, whenever Scootaloo makes a mention that some ponies would dream of having parents that were as supportive of that were as supportive of Rainbow as they were. And Rainbow says to mention one, and Scootaloo says she has never had any pony be that supportive of her. This ultimately, like, it still doesn't say that Scootaloo is an orphan. Like, it doesn't outright say it, but at the same time, I don't honestly see how you could not get that impression. I really don't. Like, how you could not watch this episode, and the other episodes as well, that have that connection between Rainbow and Scootaloo, and be able to say, yeah, she's got parents, they're just never seen. Like, we never see Scootaloo's parents. We even seen her house once, but we never saw that with her. So yeah, we never got to see that. And this basically says, well, Scootaloo is an orphan, and she looks at Rainbow as a big sister. Now, I know earlier in the fandom, Scootaloo looked at Rainbow as people believe that Scootaloo looked at Rainbow as like a mother figure. And it's kind of understandable for that. But I think that, obviously it is more of a sister figure. And then whenever we got to the ending here with Scootaloo giving her report over the pony that she idolized the most, and Rainbow and her parents were there, and then they were just holding Scootaloo up, and it was like she was a part of the family, like she was then a part of the family. She was the youngest member. She was like the sort of adoptive. She was basically the adopted member of the Rainbow family, and it's interesting about that because she finally was able to get that support that she had never got in her life before, and now she had it. And so again, this is a very sweet episode in multiple ways. This is just a very sweet episode in multiple ways because, again, there's multiple things going on here, and it's all really sweet, it's all really heartfelt, and it's just a really wonderful thing. And again, I absolutely adore this episode. It's really well done, it's a solid episode, and I absolutely adore it. And now there's other things to make mention about throughout the episode regarding the different things here. Whenever Scootaloo's method for getting Cloudsdale, I honestly didn't think that would work. I really didn't. I was wondering, hey, Twilight has a Cloudwalker spell. Why not just use that? Instead of going with the very drastic, very dangerous, potentially lethal and deadly, and possibly, and no doubt illegal, method of trying to use a giant slingshot to turn herself into a pony slingshot to get to Cloudsdale. And I actually didn't think this would work. I actually didn't think that this would actually work, but it actually did somehow. And how she was spot on. Like, she landed right in the yard. And, like, he almost mowed over her head. I can only imagine the fan art. I know there's probably going to be fan art of Scootaloo either getting up so far and then falling back down, and then seeing something from Mortal Kombat, fatality, or Scootaloo's head popping up through the clouds, and the guys like Rainbow's father has like earphones in or something. He has his eyes closed, doesn't even see Scootaloo there, and then suddenly it's just like boom. and then you hear fatality. And so yeah, I can imagine the fandom doing that, and if they don't, I probably just gave them fuel for it. But again, this shot where you see Rainbow's father here, and the way that the sun is glimmering down, like that reflection, how that it looks like, it's like you're pointing a camera up and you see that rainbow pattern. That is an amazing shot. Like, that is extremely realistic, and they did a fantastic job with that. I mean, it really does look great. And then again, whenever Scootaloo sees Rainbow's parents, again, that face. Oh my gosh. That's probably the face of every other person that watched this episode for the first time upon seeing Rainbow's parents. Just the pure look, just the look of pure shock. And then that squee, and then whenever she starts shaking his hoof, and she just starts squealing and shaking his hoof over, again, purely adorable and just really cute. And again, very much relatable, as it's very much like the rest of the fandom, no doubt. And then whenever we see Rainbow's mother, and again, I love her design as well. And again, I love her design, and like the hair and the little freckles and like the little short tail there. I love that. I love that design for her. And we see the similar color with Rainbow. Like, we see a similar color. We see, like, her father is a bit of a darker blue. Her mother is, like, more of a lighter blue. So, yeah, I guess that blended together and made Rainbow the blue that she is. I'm blue, da-be-da. Okay. And I also, like, it's also kind of understandable because in her parents, especially her mother, I can see that Rainbow... I can see where Rainbow sort of gets some of her personality from. Like with her dad, I'm trying to get to that shot. Her dad has like yellowish looking eyes. Her mother has like similar magenta eyes to Rainbow. So yeah, it's a situation Rainbow got her eyes from. I love that they did that genetically. Like they went with a genetically like with a realistic genetic thing. Rainbow got her eyes basically from her mother, and with her mother's personality and her father's personality, I can see similarities with Rainbow between them both, but I can kind of see a bit more of Rainbow's mother in Rainbow herself. A bit, but again, it's really, really well done. I love how that worked, and so again, like I said, we see that combination. Her mother does not have the blue. Her mother does not have the rainbow hair, but she has the magenta eyes. So basically, Rainbow got her father's hair, and she got her mother's eyes. And again, I love how realistically they went with the genetics, and how realistic and more natural that it is. I love that. Like, I love that they didn't just color the characters just whatever the freak color that they wanted to, and be like, well, this is how pony genetics work. Right out the window. No, like Rainbow's mother has the same color eyes as Rainbow. Her father has the same color hair that she does. And so, yeah, you can see that genetic line continuing in Rainbow. And again, they're both a different color blue, one darker, one lighter, and Rainbow is a bit of a mix between that. Like, she's a bit of a mix between that. And so again, I love that that genetic is carried over. It really, really shows, and it works great. And again, I love the design for him. I especially love Rainbow's mother. Like, I just freaking love her style. I love her design. It's very adorable. I love her voice, and I love her personality. And it's very, very cute. And again, I'm looking forward to seeing artwork of Rainbow and Rainbow's parents here. And we also get to see this beautiful aesthetic, this beautiful design with I don't know what their last name is. I can't say the dash. I can't say the rainbow with the family home. Again, I really love how this looks. And then we get to see, again, there's a ton of cute faces in this episode as well. That moment whenever, and there was some interesting little moments here. Oh, okay, crazy Scootaloo screenshot here, like completely crazy Scootaloo. But we get to see Rainbow's old bedroom, and we get to see some interesting designs. We get to see some stuffed toys over here on the corner, which is interesting. We also see an earlier poster which shows a tank. Sorry, which shows a tank. Sorry, not a tank. I'm sorry. It shows a turtle or tortoise, which makes me think of tank. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's totally a tank. Yeah, that's a new covert military style. It's designed to make you think it's a tortoise, a big freaking giant tortoise hiding an Abrams tank. But yeah, this motivational poster, it kind of makes me think of the Hang in There poster, and so again, we get to see more of Rainbow's bedroom. We get to see more of how she grew up, and it's interesting how that is. Like we get to see that. We get to see a really beautiful rainbow light. We get to see a little basketball thing right here. So we can see from very early on, Rainbow was athletic. We see what looks like. Sorry. We see we see a couple of flying posters. We see some other little figurines and everything. So again, this is an interesting glance into Rainbow's life, and again, we see more of the rainbow aesthetic here. So obviously, so again, I really love that design, and again, we get to see a lot of how this we get to see a lot of this aesthetic and see how this plays into see how this plays into Rainbow's life. And again, seeing her parents, we can see that her parents like absolutely love their daughter, and obviously and are very 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 supportive of her. And again, we see this little room where they have all the things from whenever Rainbow was growing up. And I love that little moment whenever it's like whenever Rainbow's father installed this sound effect for this door. Like, I really love that, and that's comical. And then that little bonding moment between Scootaloo and her mother, Scootaloo and Rainbow's mom, right there, really really interesting, really cute. And then whenever they find out that she's a Wonderbolt, just that look of expression, oh my gosh, like that just look of shock. And then Scootaloo decides, like, with that expression, she decides to use the door feature for that sound effect, just for that sound effect. Like, I don't know if you could consider that fourth wall breaking, but again, I love how self-aware that it is, basically, with some of the effects now that they're using it in the show. I love how that is. That's really really well done. And again, I truly love the interaction between Rainbow's mother and father here. Like, it doesn't show, and again, that's another thing that I'm glad they didn't do, is show like some sort of bitterness between them, like after being married for a bit, that they grew apart. I'm really happy that it shows them to still be close, that it shows them to still be in love and still be together. And I really love this dynamic between them, how that it works, the little interactions between them, like still shows them to not just be, like be married, but be, each other's best friend as well. And so I especially love how that is portrayed with her parents. I really love that. And again, it was great to be able to see the Wonderbolts again, to be able to see the interactions and how the characters interact with each other, Spitfire and Rainbow. And again, I'm really happy that they did that, and it shows again that closeness between them and how things have progressed. And again, they don't just look at Rainbow as a reserve Wonderbolt or anything like that. No, she's one of the team. She's a part of the team now, and she's an official Wonderbolt, and they have accepted her as that. And they also look at her as not just a recruit, but she's not just a team member, but it's more like they're all friends now. And I love that. It's so cool that that Spitfire was someone who Rainbow admired and idolized for so long, and now she's getting to fly with her, and now they're friends. They really are, and I love that. And again, that moment whenever Rainbow's just kind of sitting there with that "I'm going to kill you" expression while while she's being smothered with affection from her parents, while um while Scootaloo's is taking pictures. Again, I thought to myself, so that's how Rainbow Factory got started, right after this scene. And again, it was interesting. Again, and also we got to see some earlier shots early on. I have to point out beforehand. We get to see some earlier shots of Scootaloo. I mean, of Rainbow's mother with longer hair, and like no joke, her hair. Whenever we see it longer, it looks like something that would have been. It looks like sort of Cheerlee's get up from the '80s, and it really does look good. And another thing that I wanted to make mention of is the interactions with the wings. Like the wings are like hands here, and I love how versatile that Pegasi wings are becoming. How much that they have developed. They're not just used as wings. They're able to use them as fingers. They're able to use the feathers as fingers to plug their ears. They're able to use them as fingers to wipe their eyes. They're able to use them as, I mean, like, instead of shaking hooves, they're able to use them as, like, hands. And I really love how that they're doing that, and it really does look cool. And again, comparing the color, Rainbow is just a slight darker color blue than her mother. Her mother looks like more of a periwinkle, and Rainbow's more like I'm not really sure of the color hue, but her mother is like a slightly softer blue than Rainbow is. And so, yeah, you can see that genetic line. Rainbow, that mix of that blue there. And again, it was interesting to be able to see that. And then that moment whenever that one Wonderbolt tells Rainbow's father that he raised a good flyer. Like, I was just kind of imagining that moment. Pardon me, that he would instead of just crying, I would imagine that he would just, like, his head would just get so big, and he, like, his ego, and he would just puff out his chest. Again, we also see that little moment whenever Rainbow uses her wings to help her escape from her father's grasp. And then that cute moment whenever Rainbow's mother is comforting her husband right there. Really cute. And then I love how that Rainbow, like, right up front, I love again how the writing of the show has developed and how wonderful and sweet it is. And like, right up front, Rainbow said she loved her parents very much, and they're really close. And so I love that they actually did that they got that out of the way right from the get-go, that they said that. And then again, it's an interesting thing with Scootaloo's scrapbook that it details so many things in the past. It details so many things in the past, like with lightning dust and everything. And of course, we got to see lightning dust again, which I'm doing this little by little. And then that one mention about that one character that retires, and then Rainbow fits into his place. Again, I don't remember that part. I don't. If that was detailed in an episode, I don't remember. But that's something that must have happened off screen that we never saw, or it was never in an episode. But again, that moment whenever Rainbow's mother is wearing the hat, again, that looked like the toaster cozy that Hot Diggity Demon used. So yeah, that's what made me think of that maybe she got one from him. I don't think he made it. I think someone made it for him. But it kind of made me think of that. And again, that one moment whenever you see the that Wonderbolt insignia with the Wonderbolts flying around it. What I was going to say there was that image needed to be on a shirt sold on How We Live Fine and Redbubble. That needed to be so. And again, I love how understanding that the rest of the Wonderbolts were. They weren't like ridiculing her or saying, "Yo, you need to get rid of your parents. They're embarrassing." I'm glad that they weren't like that. Like, they were understanding. They were also supportive of Rainbow. I love that. I really do love how that was portrayed. And then it was interesting because we got to see a bit of a glimpse here of Rainbow's inside life as a Wonderbolt. Like, it wasn't just flying and such. Like, no, she had to help. Like, she had to sign autographs. She had to help cut ribbon for a ceremony. like she had to be part of there, and I just realized she accidentally cut part of Spitfire's tail off. Oosh. And then she had to do a photo shoot. So yeah, she got to do that, and so we get to see more of her life outside of that. And again, we get to see Vapor Trail and I forgot the other dude's name. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. And we also got to see a return here, an adorable return of Vapor Trail and Sky Stinger. I was going to say, I was actually, knew it was Sky, but I was actually going to call him Valor, Sky Valor. Sorry. But we actually got to see a little return of Vapor Trail and Sky Stinger, which is so cute. They are one of my favorite, like, pairs of background characters in the show. And we got to see that little moment of them walking along, talking right there, just hanging out, just being friends, or more than friends. And again, we got to see that, which was really, really cute. We got to see that. That was really adorable. And I love seeing those two characters. I love seeing those two characters there again. Really cute. I also got to see Cloud Chaser up at the top here flying. So obviously, you know, we saw her before training to be a Wonderbolt. So she's still like a Wonderbolt trainee. And so we also had the self-aware mention of lightning dust. We haven't seen her return yet. Still kind of waiting for that. But we get to see, again, this one little moment whenever the other characters are leaving. I don't know the characters' names. I know it's not Fleetfoot. It's other characters. It's other characters here. This expression, this face. Rainbow made this face here. This face that this character makes here as she's walking out the locker room. Pardon me. That's the same face Rainbow made in the episode where she first found out that AK Yearling was Daring Do. That's that face that she made that a lot of people made memes about, said that was Rainbow's shipping face. That's the same face that she made right there. Yeah, she just has that same little smug grin as she walks away. And again, I really love the facial expressions here. And I'm also really glad, like, honestly, yeah, watching that scene where Rainbow got upset at her parents, again, yeah, that hurt. That I mean, there's some little interesting things here that I have to make a mention about. It was like, it's little subtle things, but it's cute. Whenever Rainbow is getting upset at her parents and she's yelling, and her father, like, puts one hoof around his wife and, like, uses his other hoof to hold her from the front, and it's like he's supporting her as well. And like, she also, as the scene transitions, she begins, like, yeah, whenever Rainbow is whenever Bo puts his like, you see Wendy end up putting her hoofs around her husband as well. And again, it's a little subtle interaction, but you see the support and you see the interaction with the characters there, and you get to see that and how that interaction was between them. And again, it's a subtle thing, but it's really cute. It's really sweet. And then that moment that moment though, I mean, like, honestly, one of the most heartbreaking parts here was whenever Wendy uses her hooves to cover her eyes. My gosh, that hurt. That really did hurt. And then her mother was the first one, like, it was unbearable for her. Like, it was the first one, like, she was the first one to run out. And, oh my, yeah, that hurt. That really did hurt. And then you could also see, I mean, obviously, Rainbow, she felt guilty. She felt bad. She felt like a complete jackass because of getting upset at her parents. I mean, you could see that. I mean, it truly hurt her. We got to see, again, Rainbow's parents, her mother, with wild-looking hair. And again, this looks like something with Cheerilee from the 80s. Like, the hairstyle, like the rocker-style hair. She's got uh, really radical. She's got a really radical looking vest on that looks really cool. And again, I love how that looks. Honestly, it does look good. It does look good on her. Yes, it does. And we also get to see. But again, I love her modern look. And we get to see some interesting things. We see the rest of the Wonderbolts here, and we see Rainbow Dash. And we also get to see Lightning Dust and Derpy. We can see them. We see Flitter and Cloud Chaser. And Derpy won! Derpy won! So we got to see that, which was interesting. Got something on my screen here. And so it's interesting to know, of course, with every other character that manages, as Rainbow moves up and manages to win, we see the other characters that don't make it onto that are getting more and more, like, are becoming a little downtrodden. And we see Lightning Dust, like, she's second place. She didn't win. We see her upset. We see Derpy, like fourth place. She's just totally fine with it. Like, she's totally fine, just cool with it. And again, we see Rainbow's dad, like, with this. Okay, yeah, his hair is definitely more like we saw in the earlier shots with him. And we see also Raindrops. We see her, which is a bit inconsistent because we've seen Raindrops before in the show, and she's been the same. Raindrops here. So yeah, I'm just gonna look over that. No big deal. Then whenever Rainbow said she can fall asleep anywhere, and then she does. Yeah, yeah, no joke. My dad's like that. Like, my dad's like that. I can't fall asleep really anywhere exactly. It has to be comfortable, and it has to be cool in order for me to go to sleep. And it has to be quiet. If it's not quiet, if it's hot in the area, nope, forget it. I can't sleep. But again, I love how, and then Rainbow's little speech with that whenever she makes that little speech, whenever she says what the private show was, and again. Rainbow said, "I love my parents very much, and I'm sorry that I yelled." Again, this was really cute. It was really cute. It was sweet, and I really love how that was handled, and how Rainbow wanted to give them a private show as an apology, and then she apologized for getting upset. Her parents forgave her, and like, there was that mutual understanding that they each had made a mistake, but it was something that they learned, and if anything, like I said, their relationship was stronger. And again, Rainbow still, like, there was no bitterness or anything. They were still together. And then we see Cheerily there again, making a mention again, the moldy sandwich. Yeah, that's hilarious. And then there's Rainbow, her mom and dad just kind of hanging out right there in the background, like, supporting their youngest daughter and little sister. Then Cheerily makes a mention, like, this isn't a rock and roll concert. Again, love that, love that. But again, we get to see that little moment there. And again, let's see. Voices. I gotta see voices here. Okay, let's see. Sarah Edmondson is Wendy Whistles, Jason DeLine is Bo Hothoof, and announcer. Okay. But again, yeah, I really love, let's see, Fleetfoot, okay, was the one that spoke to Bo. Okay. But again, I really love this episode. This was a good, solid episode. I absolutely adore this episode. It's cute, it's sweet, it's fun, and it truly is. I mean, it's cute, it's sweet, it's fun. Yeah, I really love this episode. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes of. This is definitely one of my favorite episodes of. Definitely one of my favorite episodes of this season, and also one of my favorite episodes of this series. This was a cute episode. It was sweet, and again, it was very understandable. It was very much relatable for both Rainbow. For Rainbow, for Bo and Wendy, and it was also, and we also got to see more detailing we finally got to see Rainbow's parents, and it was really cool to be able to see them. And again, I really do love their designs. I love their personalities. I love how they are. It's just very cute. It's very sweet. I love the connection, the dynamic between Rainbow and her parents. I love that. I love that they are very close, that they're not like growing, that they're not growing apart or anything like that. And I love that, like a little sister concept with Scootaloo there. Um, and again, there was a lot of in this episode, and I really loved it. This again, this is one of my favorite episodes of the whole show, of the entire series. And it's cute, it's sweet, it's heartfelt, it's very much relatable. It's a good solid episode, and I really love it. And so again, to everybody at Hasbro and DHX, thank you guys so much. Thank you to everybody for doing this episode. Thanks so much for writing the story, the characters, the way that you did. Thank you. I mean, the way that you did. Thanks so much for writing. For the character designs. It's wonderful. I love it all. It's incredible. Thank you all so much for all the work and effort put into this episode, and well, the whole show itself. It really shows. And again, thank you so much for bringing the show so far and developing it to the mature point that it is, that it can tell these incredible stories. Just like with Season 5, it continues to tell these incredible, relatable, and understanding and heartfelt stories that people can relate to and understand. And it really have depth and meaning. And so, thank you so much for that. Like I said, it's really interesting that it's taken 7 years. 7 years to finally get to see Rainbow's parents. And we wondered for so long about Rainbow's parents. We wondered for so long. And I know there was that other character that was introduced that we saw that turned out not to be Rainbow's father. And again, I know that's kind of disappointing for some people's headcanons. You know, some people probably thinking, you know, could he be Rainbow's father or something like that? No, like me myself, I'm more natural. I'm very open-minded with it. I'm not. I mean, yeah. It would have been cool if Firefly had been Rainbow's mother. It would have been cool if Firefly had been Rainbow's mother. It would have been cool if the other guy with the rainbow mane had been Rainbow's father. But again, I'm okay that they're not. Like, I'm not complaining. I'm not upset by it. I'm okay with it. Any fan art fan art, comics, fan fiction where Firefly is Rainbow's mother, that's cool. I still will like it. I'm still going to like it, and I'm still fine with it. I'm still going to enjoy it. But like again, I'm totally fine with Rainbow's parents being the way that they are here. Again, I'm not upset by it. I'm not going to complain. I like it. Honestly, I love Rainbow's mother's design, and she's cute. She's fun, and I also like her father's design, and I really love the interaction between Wendy and Bo. I love how that their interactions are, and again, I love that they're not. I'm glad that they weren't. I'm really happy that they weren't designed to be parents that weren't exactly close, that they sort of had grown apart over time. No, they were still close. They were still together. And I love that. It was so cute. It was romantic, it was cute, it was sweet. And I'm a sucker for things like that. And so again, I really love how that played out, and I really love this episode. It was a good solid episode, and I absolutely adore it. So again, thank you to everybody that worked on this episode, Hasbro, DHX. Thank you all so much for this beautiful episode. And also thank you guys again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Again, let me know what you guys think in the comments as well. What do you think? And thank you guys again for joining me, and hopefully I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.